Hi, I'm Hannah Wallace and welcome to Finextra TV at Sibos. Calling into our virtual studio now is Erwan Kolk from EBA Clearing. So Erwan, welcome back. It's good to see you again.
Thank you, Hannah. Great to be here again.
Really good to have you on and looking forward to touching base with you, because I think the last time we spoke was 2 years ago when EBA Clearing announced that 27 financial institutions from 11 countries began supporting you to deliver a pan-European request-to-pay solution. But it seems since then the solution has not quite yet taken off. So can you tell us what's happening behind the scenes?
Yeah, that's a very good question, Hannah. Thanks for asking. We've made great progress since our first announcement. We delivered the specification 6 months afterwards. The test system was made available last year and the first users have started testing. The system went technically live this summer at the same moment as the go live of the SEPA request to pay scheme. In parallel, we have achieved critical mass for instant payments in RT1 with around 80 participants and over 2,500 addressable PSPs. On an average day, we process around 1.5 million transactions per day. But this ramp up of instant payments is tying up a lot of resources at the banks. Nevertheless, we expect to see the first request to pay pilots to start soon. The complex part is that banks and other providers have to integrate request to pay in their internet and mobile banking environments, both on the payer and on the payee side. To build outreach fast, we're adding API connectivity to the platform by the end of this year. And this will allow our users to leverage their existing PSD2 APIs to make their clients reachable for request to pay. And that will help to build the reach in this ecosystem that everybody needs to be able to monetize it.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Erwan, for bringing us up to date. It sounds like a huge amount of progress has been made, especially if you take into account the challenges that we faced over the pandemic period. So the question that remains, though, is it worth the wait? What about that?
Absolutely. Request to pay will enable banks and other providers to develop their own payment solutions, and that will allow them to capture value. Existing payment solutions like cash, cards, payment methods from fintechs, they're often platform driven. They aim to get the payer and the payee on the same platform. And while this simplification sounds appealing, it also reduces choice. And with platforms, key elements like fees, a pay later option, security, the channels, they're all controlled in the center. And competition there is very limited. PSD2 is opening up the industry and everybody can connect to anyone, but this does not automatically ensure a seamless user experience. And what's more, the value distribution might be imbalanced, and that is potentially strengthening the platforms again. It could result in the winners are taking it all again. In my view, instant payments with request to pay could address these shortcomings. Instant payments, they have unique features with finality of the payment, with 24/7 operations, and with real-time availability of funds. If we add request to pay on top of that, with a four-corner model, we will have an ecosystem that will democratize payments. Request to pay will support our banks in their digital transformation.
All right, so that's interesting. What difference then would a four-corner model make? What about that?
Yeah, well, first, everybody can reach each other with the standards and a common scheme and across the whole of Europe. Second, we need value-added services around instant payments. Everybody should be enabled to capture some of the value. A four-corner model enables providers to each define their own value proposition for their payer or their payee. And this is where they can capture that value. Think, for example, at buy now, pay later. A retail bank can choose to offer this to its client when they receive their request to pay. Request to pay creates a more competitive landscape, which does not exist today. Changing the business model of payment solutions is, in my view, a precondition for challenging the dominance of the current platforms.
Erwan, thank you very much. This all sounds extremely promising. So tell us, how much ground do you expect request to pay to cover then in the coming year?
Well, I believe we will see request to pay accelerating in 2022. I know several communities are now discussing how to adopt request to pay. Some are thinking of organizing pilots around specific request-to-pay use cases that would immediately generate value for their community, whether that's an e-invoicing model, an e-commerce payment, a P2P solution, or any other use case. It's important to mention that Request-to-Pay is getting considerable tailwind from the European Central Bank in their role of catalyst. The ECB has recently published a paper on the benefits of instant payments, and it provides recommendations to payment service providers. They also acknowledge that Request-to-Pay could create instant payment volumes and create a level playing field for payment solutions. The ECB encourages PSPs to take advantage of Request-to-Pay, go for a pan-European setup, and use it to capture value to recover some of the investments the industry has made in rolling out instant payments. I'm sure this nudge by the ECB will support early movers in securing their Request-to-Pay development budgets for next year. But being able to monetize the instant payments investments and being able to bring a competitive offering in a booming payments industry will be the real driver for our users. Having several pilots taking advantage of our Request-to-Pay system would be an important next step in the right direction, and I'm really looking forward to that.
And so am I. And Owen, looking forward to catching up further down the line and reflecting on those. But for now, we'll leave it there. Thank you very much for calling in and sharing your insights. It's been a pleasure as always.
Thank you.